Take a deep breath. When you breathe in air, your body takes in oxygen. Now exhale. The gas that leaves your body is carbon dioxide. Even though you can't see these gases, each of them is made up of atoms. Look at that plant, which also is made of atoms. It's the opposite with a plant. It takes in carbon dioxide and releases oxygen. Click the different highlighted areas to learn more. When you have finished, click on the next button to explore atoms and atomic theory. In their own way, plants breathe too. They use the carbon dioxide that you exhale, and they produce the oxygen that you inhale. The molecules break apart, and the atoms form new bonds with different elements during this process. You exhale carbon dioxide. Each molecule of carbon dioxide is composed of 2 oxygen atoms and 1 carbon atom. You breathe in oxygen. Oxygen is an element. The common oxygen molecule has a double bond between its 2 oxygen atoms. They are bonded together, but they can separate to form new compounds. Welcome to the lesson, What is the Atomic Theory? You will explore the atomic theory and learn about the components of atoms, elements, molecules, and compounds. The vocabulary terms for this lesson are atom, element, atomic theory, compound, and molecule. Did you know that the width of a single human hair is about 1 million carbon atoms wide? Atoms are so small that the scientists who began studying atoms couldn't actually see them. These scientists developed an explanation of atoms, called the atomic theory, without seeing them. Even today, microscopes using light can magnify human hair more than before, but not enough to actually see the atoms. An atom is the basic unit of all matter. It is made of protons, neutrons, and electrons. Click the parts of an atom to learn more about the protons, neutrons, and electrons that make up an atom. A cloud of electrons surrounds an atom's dense central nucleus. Electrons are subatomic particles carrying a negative electric charge of -1. They have a mass that is nearly 2,000 times smaller than that of a proton, and although they are located outside the nucleus, they are still part of the atom. If you were to look inside an atom, you'd find neutrons along with protons in the atom's nucleus. Neutrons are subatomic particles with no net electric charge. A neutron has a mass slightly larger than that of a proton. Protons are found in the nucleus, the center of an atom. They are subatomic particles with an electric charge of +1. The number of protons in an atom determines the atomic number. The atomic number is like an identification tag for an atom. The atomic theory is the scientific explanation of the structure and behavior of atoms. Click the nodes on the timeline to explore the early history of the atomic theory. The term element was originally used to describe a state of matter, like solid, liquid, gas, or plasma. Air, fire, and water were also described as elements. The atomic theory began as an idea in ancient Greece and India. The concept gained popularity with scientists and became well known to the public in the early 1800s. Discoveries in the field of chemistry showed that matter behaved as if it was made up of particles. This became an important part of the atomic theory. Based on earlier experiments, John Dalton developed an atomic theory in which he proposed that each chemical element is made up of a single, unique type of atom. According to Dalton, atoms were like solid balls that could not be divided, altered, or destroyed by chemical experimentation. Dalton also proposed that atoms could combine to form more complex substances, now known as chemical compounds. An element is a pure chemical substance consisting of just one type of atom. All of the atoms in an element are identical to one another, but atoms of one element can combine with atoms of different elements to form molecules of a compound. A molecule is a group of atoms joined together chemically. A compound is a chemical substance consisting of two or more different chemical elements. Can you tell which of these items are elements and which are compounds? Drag the items to the correct boxes to categorize the elements and the compounds. Remember, you can click the images to see what they are. Well done! As you may already know, not all atoms are the same. Each element is made up of many atoms, which are all the same kind of atom. When atoms of different elements join together, they form molecules of a compound. A compound is a chemical substance that is made up of two or more elements. Not only is water one of our most abundant natural resources, it is also one of the most common chemical compounds on Earth. A water molecule is made when two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom combine. Click the atoms to learn more about them. The hydrogen atom is the smallest atom because it only has one proton and one electron. Hydrogen atoms aren't really blue, but they are shown with a color, so they are easy to spot. Oxygen atoms are significantly larger than hydrogen atoms because they have more protons, neutrons, and electrons. Oxygen atoms aren't really red, but they are shown with a color, so they are easy to spot. What is an element? Click the answer that best fits your description of what an element is. You've got it! An element is a substance made entirely of just one type of atom. If a substance is made up of two or more types of atoms, it is a compound. Now, we know that an atom is made up of protons, neutrons, and electrons. Do you remember where these parts of the atom are located? Drag the pieces of the puzzle over the picture on the left to make a match. Great work! You can see the protons and neutrons at the center, and the cloud of electrons moving around them. What do you know about the development of the atomic theory? Summarize the development of the atomic theory in your own words. Type your summary in the box, then click OK. Before we end this lesson, let's take a quick look at the main points you covered about the atomic theory and atoms. An atom is the basic unit of all matter. It is the smallest unit of a pure element. Atoms contain protons, neutrons, and electrons. Protons and neutrons are in the nucleus, the center of the atom. A cloud of electrons surrounds the central nucleus. An element is a pure chemical substance made up of only one kind of atom. All the atoms in an element are identical to one another. Atoms of one element combine with atoms of different elements to form compounds. Therefore, a compound is a chemical substance consisting of two or more different chemical elements. A molecule is a group of atoms joined together chemically. A compound is a substance consisting of two or more elements bonded together. The atomic theory is the scientific explanation of the structure and behavior of atoms. It became well known in the early 19th century. Now that you've finished this lesson, if you wish, you can go back and review any part of the lesson again.